Because guess who's with us in the studio right now? It's a good thing you put me right at the end, because if not, I'll be like, oh, can I touch? Hey, these two are icons.
I have to work with her, you know.
No, but these two are icons. They are icons. And they're here.
They're legends.
They're here.
Are legends. Yes. Okay. From Team Singapore, the national swimmers, we've got Quah Zheng Wen and Quah Ting Wen with us.
Yay!
Siblings, but more than that. I said this morning. Your family is a dynasty in swimming.
This is probably not the first time you've heard that.
You really can't deny it. Can you?
I mean, I think we just kind of all do it. Our parents never really swam, but yeah.
But you guys, you think Quah and you think swimming.
We have been asked if we are related to the football family Quah Kim Song.
Kim Song, yeah.
We're not, but we've had that question before, different families.
Wow, it's crazy.
Sometimes you just go, yes. Or like, or you know, just go like, you know, like you're not quite answering, like.
Growing up in Singapore, swimming isn't just a hobby. It's not just a pastime. It's a national conversation. When did it stop being fun sibling activity, and when did you start to feel the pressure?
Actually, I think it never really stopped being fun sibling activity, and I think that it's actually the other way around. I think when my siblings weren't there, I felt the expectation and the pressure a lot more. I think in a lot of ways, when they were with me, it kind of gave me an outlet to kind of channel that energy and that stress, and it was relieving in some way.
What about from a girl's point of view?
Yeah,
I think, well, I agree with my brother, but before my siblings both made the national team, I was representing Singapore for a while on my own. And I think, you know, before like the junior meets and the local club meets and just swimming in Singapore, that was fun. I think the very first time I felt pressure was when I traveled overseas to represent Singapore at a big meet, and that was in 2005 for the Southeast Asian Games in Manila. And that was my first big one.
How old were you at that point?
I was 13.
Good Lord.
So you know, you represented the stage as Singapore, as you said, on these huge stages. How do you handle the pressure? That's one. There's got to be this. At points, you have to have doubt. You're human. How do you get rid of that little voice in your head?
Yeah.
You want to take this?
Practice. I think self-awareness and practice. So I think being learning about yourself as much as possible, learning how you function physically, learning how you are mentally, emotionally. You know, being very aware of that and accepting that, you know, you function a certain way and you find the way to work the best with what you got. And you just practice. You find the things that work and you just practice and you try and perfect that. And with the things that you know you're not so good at, then, you know, you also work on that on the other side,
Yeah, I mean, what she said. But I also think that it's important to realize that doubt is not something that will be completely absent in your life. You know, I think with expectation, there's pressure, and with pressure, there comes that nagging whisper of doubt in your ear. And I think it's good to not ignore that voice per se. I think it's not to give it too much value, you know. I think to recognize that it's there, but not let it consume you.
I'm curious, because I've watched the swimming, and we're going to deal with this when we go live on Facebook.
Yes.
The few minutes before you enter the pool.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a question.
If it's me, right, I just want to make sure I don't fall down because I'm really clumsy. You know, like I want to walk on, I want to be cool, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel myself, I would do things like, you know, stand at the, what do you call it? The podium? Is it
the blocks.
I would really like, you know, I would be like just warming up, right? And I would just kind of just
Slide
fall in.
in.
No, I will fall in out of, you know, I'm just so clumsy, right? So, yeah, so Jill knows this. On to Facebook.
I didn't say anything.
The Morning Drive.
Okay. I've watched swim meets, and you see these guys come out in the hoodies, and they're all like, you know, it's like, I want to be a rapper turned bad. They've got headphones on.
Yeah.
What's with it? Does that music is it music that goes through those headphones? Is it someone talking to you?
I've actually heard like multiple people say different things. Obviously, a lot of it is music, but I do know that some people actually just put it on without anything playing and just so that people don't bother them, because I think they're trying to stay in their space.
Oh, right. They're staying in their zone.
Yeah, and some people would like to be really chatty in the call room, and I personally don't like that, and I know that some people don't like that.
So what's your routine? Those
the
few minutes before you come out.
Ooh, you wanna go?
Do you have a routine?
So when I was younger, I would put on my earphones or my earbuds, and when I was younger, it would be like tough music or just music with a lot of beats.
Okay.
And as I got a little bit older and a little bit more experienced, I realized that I did not need to be hyping myself up more, because I think with, sometimes we take caffeine supplements before, your heart rate's already going, you're nervous before the race, so you're already like everything's like ready to go. And sometimes I think the music just heightens it a little bit too much. So there was a point where I was listening to more like slower music actually.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
And then as I got older, I stopped listening to music completely. Like some of the people my brother talked about, we just like silence.
So you just put it in, there's no sound, there's no nothing.
At some point I just didn't put it. I didn't care. Less things to carry, less things to worry about, right? I've lost enough like earbuds to.
I like that.
So at some point I just stopped wearing it, and I think it was also because there was enough practice of self-talk during training to be okay just sitting alone with the thoughts that would go through my head before I race. Right. So a lot of it would be like, okay, like how am I going to swim this race, or assuring like self-talk, like okay, I've prepared the best I can, like all I can do is my best.
That's the thing, we don't think about the mental sort of fortitude that all our athletes have to go through, and I think a lot of it you guys had to come into it on your own, isn't it? So how was it for you?
I think it's kind of just a trial by fire. I think a lot of it, like Ting was saying, comes with the preparation, knowing that you've done the work. But I think a big thing that really kind of helped me move to the next level was kind of just stepping behind the blocks, knowing that the work was done, and that, just kind of giving yourself that self-belief, just trusting that, you could be racing next to an Olympic medalist, world champion. But you're in that race no matter what, there's it's just you and 7 other guys, and as long as you have a chance, there's a chance. So you just got to go out there and believe and, make it happen.
I like that statement, when there's a chance, there's always a chance.
There's always a chance. Wish more people would believe
actually,
that.
what they're not saying is that inside their headphones, right, they're listening to 1FM. I know. Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
Being siblings, is that motivational or is that competitive? Especially you have a sister.
She's better apt to answer this.
You have a sister.
Yeah.
I would say motivational.
Yeah.
Growing up, my parents are good. They never really, there was no comparison.
Really?
I think it happened a little bit more outside
of
our family nucleus. It would happen with like relatives or sometimes with other parents at the pool. What's nice is that we're all 4 years apart. Okay. So my brother's 4 years younger than me, and my sister's 8 years younger than me.
Right.
So I have friends who have siblings who are just like 1 or 2 years younger, and then that's pretty bad. Even worse if like they're twins, right?
Yeah.
We're lucky because like Zheng's a guy, so there's a difference, and it's not fair to compare men and women's like timings, right? And my sister's so much younger that we didn't have a lot of that time to be compared. Because by the time she started swimming for Singapore, she was 15 and I was 23.
Okay.
And so I was still like comparison, but I don't think it was too bad. I've had conversations with my sister, and she has mentioned that it did affect her when she was younger. And I think as older siblings, we've always tried to shield her from a lot of that. Sometimes you can have like relatives who might not know too much about the sport and would ask rather insensitive questions. But we've also learned to understand that not going through the sport, sometimes people just they don't get it, and so they don't know that what they're asking might be a little bit too.
I would imagine you'd get some pretty strange questions from the media as well, right? At times.
I'm pretty sure our mom said that there was once where someone was asking her, like Ting Wen's like up and coming, she's gonna be the next Jocelyn Yeo or whatever. And my mom in my opinion, gave a very good reply where she was like, nah, like she's just gonna be Ting Wen, you know. And I think that that's really awesome because people love to compare.
Yeah.
And like every walks of life, right? And especially in sport.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, something about my mom being able to just come out and say that so confidently, it's like really inspiring.
I understand because, you know, everyone compares FD to me. So I understand. Yeah.
I live with the strain. What's the one I mean, every sport, there is a sacrifice. There has to be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
What's a sacrifice that each of you has made that maybe people don't understand?
You want to go?
Yeah. I think throughout my life, there's been varying other things that I would have liked to kind of, you know, pursue and see how interested I am in them. And obviously, at some point, we have to kind of let go of a lot of these other interests, so to speak, because swimming just took up so much time. You know, we had 10 practices a week, 3 gym sessions. You know, that's a lot of hours. And people always think, oh, swimming's just in the pool. Don't you have time outside of that?
Actually, I want to ask a little bit more about these interests that you can't pursue now because of swimming. We were just talking about a great question from you, FD, about
the sacrifices that you've made that maybe people don't know about.
And you were sharing about you do have to let go of quite a bit because swimming was such a big part of your life. I'm hearing 10 practices a week. That's at the pool, and then your gym practices, and probably you probably had physiotherapy
stuff.
Yeah. So that's I think it's spill over to the next week already. So you said you had to make those choices. You know, there were other interests that you gave up in order to continue to pursue this. And you speak about that now. So can you share more about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the most amazing things ever, right? It's just kind of menial things that people really take for granted. You know, it's, you know, drawing, reading. These are all things that I used to enjoy a lot more when I was a kid. Actually, I still do.
Okay.
I think I do have a little bit of a creative streak.
Okay.
And just with the commitment, there's just been so much that we've had to kind of sacrifice for the sake of time. And in more recent memory, along the lines of a more professional career, I had also given up going to med school because I really wanted to push myself in the sport.
Wow.
I wanted to see what I could do, and I just felt that doing medical school alongside trying to be the best that I can be, alongside some of the top guys in the world, was going to be very difficult.
Sure.
So I made that choice professionally, and I wouldn't say I regret it, but I'm very glad that I managed to kind of give myself that chance, you know. But very excited to look forward now to the future.
I think we do take for granted, you know, the kind of like when you're at those kind of heavy crossroads, you have to make that choice, you know. So, but thank you for your sacrifices.
I just, you know, sometimes I wonder whether people just expect it of you.
Oh.
The general public. You know what I mean? As sad as it is to say, you know, I think sometimes people just expect it. It's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I think they get used to just having the same names and the same faces representing Singapore in a sport, and I think then the expectation comes with like, okay, like, you know, this year there's whatever meet there is, and we're gonna see like this lineup, and
okay,
because we're also a small country, right? So the turnover in the national teams are a little bit slower than maybe in bigger countries.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say, like, my brother, he is very creative. Like when he was younger, I remember like reading one of his essays.
Wow.
Very beautiful, like beginning, like introduction. Like obviously, you know, with like primary school essay. Like at the end, it had to be like a lot shorter, just because I think he ran out of time.
Got
but
bored.
Like he's a good writer. There was a period of time like when he was younger, he loved like robots and dragons. There was a period of time where he said he wanted to be an AI engineer, which at that time, you know, like 20 years ago, I was like, haha, like whatever, like so futuristic, right? All the movies, but like look at where we are now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there were for him a lot of
You know, FD, this is really, we're witnessing it here firsthand, just the genuine sort of sibling support and love from,
absolutely,
the two of them towards each other. I want some of that too.
You do?
Note out to my sister, hey.
Okay.
No,
hey, sister, come
awesome
on.
Too. My sister's awesome too.
Okay, we're going to go back onto Facebook.
1FM 91.
So it's interesting. What sacrifice did you make that people don't know about? Sorry, we're getting real personal here.
No, it's okay. I like it. We are very used to like the swimming only questions. It's kind of nice once in a while to change it up.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
I want to read your essay right now because
that's a lot of pressure.
It was shared that this is in primary school and already he left such an impression.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was a lot of very specific detailing of a door. A door. The character was at the door for the whole half of the essay.
Can I just borrow that essay and let my sons read it? I'd be like, this is how you can get better points in your compo writing. Please. Look at how he wrote about the door.
Yes. It was just a door.
Damn beautiful door.
Not anymore.
Okay, let's get back to sacrifices.
I'm not as scientific as my siblings. I'm a little bit more on the creative humanities side. When I was younger, I really liked the idea of creating beautiful homes. So architecture was one of the things that I thought that would be really interesting to pursue. When I went into school, into university, first I realized that architecture wasn't just about drawing beautiful homes, right? There's a lot of math involved. And I was like, okay, maybe interior designing, still about homes, but now on the inside. And then I realized that for architecture and interior design, there was a lot of time spent off campus to go look at buildings. And I think with my swimming schedule, it would have been very difficult for me to make those trips off campus.
Sure.
And so I made that decision to not pursue it. I still,
now you can pursue it at your own time and leisure, perhaps?
With my own home, maybe. My own room.
Every month is a different look.
Yeah.
But what amazes me is you made these decisions and you had the support of your parents. How many parents in Singapore would go, yeah, okay, you're going to put medicine aside. Yeah, you're going to put architecture aside. How many parents would be okay with that?
But that's because they have such a huge talent in swimming. I mean, if my son came to me and says I want to put medicine aside, I'll be like, you're swimming.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
And I'll be like, you made it to med school?
Okay, wait.
When did this happen? I've read your essays, boy.
I ask this of every athlete that I speak to. You have a chance now. What would you say to the parents of kids who want to
who are
try
aspiring
this?
To be
They want to try this. What would you say to the parents?
Actually, it's funny that you asked that because most parents that come to talk to me are actually very invested in swimming and are very interested in their children's success. So generally, they don't have much to say that's negative, I would say, or not in support of the sport. But if I could give any advice to parents, it would be to give them a bit of space to breathe. Give them the chance to kind of explore that interest on their own and kind of let it develop naturally. Because I find that very often when parents push and streamline their kids into certain sports or CCAs or whatever they may be, kids kind of treat it more as a chore rather than a passion. And eventually that kind of interest fizzles out much quicker than otherwise, than if the parents weren't so pushy. And so, I think that's what I would say to most of them if I could say anything.
Is it the same for girls?
I'm a little bit older, and I think I'm at that age where I am starting to understand parents a little bit better. So I do understand the very realistic, thought towards okay, my kid is, especially for swimming, right? My kid is investing so much time, so much energy. They're young too, so the parents also have to be the ones driving back and forth, feeding the kids. You spend that time in the pool, you can't spend that time elsewhere. And so to a lot of parents, I know this is not a great word to use, but it is investment, right? Investment in time, energy, money, it's cost. So there are some times when parents come to me and ask will they be the next so-and-so, can they reach, great heights? And what I like to tell parents is that, just give them as much support as you can. And at the end of the day, swimming is a choice. It is not like a do or die, right? It is and you don't know how long that passion for the pool will last. So, you know, in 10, 20 years, when you look back with your child during this period of time, would you like to look back at it as a time that you spent together trying to hone this skill of find out how far you can go in this passion? Right. Or, you know, instead of looking back at it being like, oh, do you remember when like my mom had to force me to go to the pool and I'll hide in the bathroom because like I just didn't want to be there. And it's also about the relationship with the parent and child, right? And time passes so quickly that you want to make the most of it. I know it's easier to say than do, obviously, but I think a reminder once in a while like would be good for the parents.
No, but I think your words have a lot of weight because you've been through all that, you know, and like as you shared, you know, both your parents were very supportive, right? So yeah, I think it's a good reminder to all those out there, those swimming parents who are listening in, please, take her advice. Take her advice.
Zheng Wen, as the younger sibling, did you ever feel like you had something to chase?
Yes, I mean, I think Ting has always provided a very strong role model for me to idolize.
Wow.
And for the most part, I've gotten this question over my entire swimming career, you know, who's your favorite athlete? Who do you idolize? Who do you look up to? And my answer has never changed. It's always been my older sister. And to her, I'm very grateful for that, right? Inculcating all that work ethic in me since I was young. Although when she used to train by the pool and I was a lot younger, I would just kind of lay by the pool side. My parents would just give me that freedom. I would just be laying and relaxing. But yeah, obviously with any sort of idolization, there comes comparison inevitably. But I've come to realize over the years that comparison as a basis of my own self-worth makes it very unstable, you know, because every new achievement, every new benchmark just kind of, it doesn't make me feel satisfied. It just kind of shifts the benchmark further and further. And in that way, we don't really ever enjoy our successes, right? We always just chase the new high, you know what I mean? So I've realized quite a long time ago that that kind of comparison did not really hold any worth, and I've tried my best since then to kind of let go of that.
Ting, did you feel you had to set standards all the time?
Not really, because I think there have been times in my life that I would look at my siblings and they would inspire me, or they would set the standard for me sometimes. I'll give you an example. Like my sister's 8 years younger than me, but I think, you know, at the age of 14 or 15, she knew a lot more than me than when I was 14 or 15. Like she's quite self-assured, she's quite independent. We're quite different. She's quite confident also, was so confident for how young she was. My brother is I think sets like the moral standards for me. You know, there have been times where I might be lazy or I want to cut corners or find loopholes, and growing up, he was like very black and white. He was like, no, that is wrong. Like that is not the right thing to do. I don't think, you know, and he would say that in a way that
the guy who is lazing and suntanning when you first started training, that same fella.
I mean, you know, okay, balance it out, right? So he would be the one to kind of nudge me, I think, in the right direction, and so I feel like we all have our strengths. So I don't think that just because of age, right? Like I look to them a lot also for strength.
There's a little tear just glistening.
I
also have one.
She's talking me up right now.
I also have one.
Okay. Most decorated Southeast Asian Games athlete ever. What does that mean?
I think it shows how long I've been doing this. I mean, I look back at the history of like Singapore swimming. I think I've been swimming till the oldest age. I remember being 12 and looking up at one of my seniors, and I think he was 32 that year, and that was his last meet. And I was thinking, wow, like he's so mature, like he's so old, like he's such an adult. And now that I'm like coming to 2 years past that, I wonder what some of the 12-year-olds think, right, when they look at me. But it has been, I think it speaks a lot about the journey. Where I started as a 12, 13-year-old.
Sure.
and all the ups and downs that have come with it. I mean, a lot of people talk a lot about the gold medals.
Yep.
I think you talk about the total number, you take into account the silver and the bronzes, and I've learned a lot of lessons with those second and third place podium finishes too. You know, at my first outing in 2005 at the Manila Sea Games, I think I only won like a bronze, and I can't remember, it was so long ago, maybe a silver and a bronze.
Sure.
So not top place, but those events meant so much to me because I think that was my first outing. I remember being so nervous to the point where I was like tearing up in the reporting room. And just having like a crazy 800 swim and not even knowing what was going on, right? It was just so overwhelming. I was 12, a lot of the seniors on the team were like 16 and older, and I felt very lost and new and like a little bit alone.
Sure.
But now looking back, I think of that kid like fondly, and I think those medals are sort of like tangible mementos from that time.
Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna
go back.
Yeah, no, but wow, that one just left such an impression on me.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean by people talk about all the gold medals, but those silver and bronze medals to you just meant so much to you because of what happened at that point. Wow. Yeah. We're going to jump back on air. Come and join us, everyone.
Never understand why they call themselves Toad the Wet Sprocket. What the hell?
It's one of those greatest life mysteries.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to solve it. Okay, let's keep this conversation going. Ting Wen, because of this SEA Games and the greatest, most awarded athlete of all time, now in your life, what is success? I mean, can it get any better than this?
I think swimming has set the standard.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of the simple things. Health, I think as you get older, as the people around you get older, you start to learn that health is one of the greatest forms of wealth. I think peace of mind is another one. A deep sense of satisfaction of a day of good work done. Yeah, that's another one. And a quality group of loved ones and people around you. It sounds very like just normal people stuff, but I just feel like swimming for so long, I've learned so much about myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It has shaped so many different areas of my life and given me so much joy, and also, it's gone the other way also. But it's taught me what I want for the rest of my life and the way I want to live it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about for you, Yeah. Because you're, like, how do you keep pursuing, that pursuit of success, you know, especially when you've achieved so much, right? Yeah.
I think one thing that I've really learned from my sporting career is that, it's not always about the end product, right? Obviously it is what's mostly celebrated, it's what's visible, it's what's tangible. But a lot of people don't acknowledge the invisible side of the process. People cannot see determination, perseverance, hard work. And so I think in some way, success cannot really be defined by just the end product and the achievement alone. I think it's kind of a culmination of all the efforts that led to that moment. And coming from a long swimming career, when I look back on my journey, obviously there are highlights and moments, right? But parts that I'm truly happy about to have experienced often don't equate linearly to medals per se. It's time with my family, time with my teammates, guys I haven't seen for over half a decade now, but I still think back on those moments very fondly, and it's definitely going to stay with me longer than any medal will.
Okay, there are a lot of really young Singaporeans who look up to you.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we'll ask that question on air, shall we? Oh, we're on air now. Okay. Sorry, I lost track of where we were.
No. Yes, we are firmly on air.
I'm firmly on air. Okay.
I also wanted to say,
I'm like totally lost.
You can maybe
I got very wrapped up in this.
Another success that you can plan for, right, is to finish that essay. We need to that door.
Complete the rest of the house.
Right.
Yes,
complete the rest
what's
of the
behind
house.
the door?
There's no page limit. There's no time limit. Go for it.
We've got to. You speak of swimming from a very, very young age.
Yeah.
So let's take those 12, 13, 14-year-olds. You've already spoken to the parents. What do you say to them?
Oh, both of you, yeah.
I think you might think that you have so much more time in the pool, and I'm not saying that they should swim as though every session is like their last.
Yeah.
And, you know, that sense of desperation, but it's more like enjoy the process. You know,
yeah. Okay.
Try and see everything in a light of like, okay, if this isn't success, it's not failure, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Kids, I think, sometimes are very happy being comfortable, and it's very difficult to learn how to be uncomfortable. But I think if, you know, kids can rewire the way they approach pain and discomfort, it'll make them a lot, I think, stronger, not just in the pool, but in all walks of life that can help them in other areas of...
I think that's a great point, because, you know, every parent wants to know how to better teach their children resilience. And I can see that that's really put across very clearly by you. How about for you?
I think it's realizing that the only people that will really have your back is yourself and your loved ones.
Right.
You have to be so good that essentially people can't ignore you. You know, there'll always be dissenters, people who doubt you, people who secretly wish to see you fail, and that's going to be everywhere, right? Just having your support system in place and trying your absolute hardest, right, to make sure that no one can say anything to kind of take away from everything that you've done. And I think that is something to be strived for. You know, it's worthy of shooting for. And even if you never, you know, get that medal that you wanted, at least you know you can finish off the journey knowing that, you know, you were the best version of yourself that you could be, right?
Okay.
I feel like that kid, you know. Going to...
This one's very emotional today.
No, it's just beautiful. No, it's really beautiful. And you know, like, you've pointed out so much more to that whole process, you know.
Now
like,
what you do
I can't imagine the impression you would make on kids, you know, when they're hearing this.
Now what you do is you go home, you go to YouTube, you sit your boys in front of YouTube, and you make them watch this.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
sure, guys.
We end every interview with quick fire questions.
Okay.
Okay? This is where you got to be honest. Okay? And we hope the family is not listening. Okay? So be honest. Who was mom's favorite child?
The youngest. The youngest.
The youngest.
I was going to say my brother.
Really?
I think that my younger sister gets away with a lot more than my older sister I have ever have. So
he sees that as being a favorite, but I see it more as like the softness. Not in terms of like getting away with things, but just like, I just feel like
if she calls for you, come down now. But then him is like, are you ready to
please come down?
Really? Are you serious?
No. But like
that's obvious, Mom.
I think just with moms and sons, right? There's But yeah, I think also, to be fair, he also did make her life a little bit easier.
Oh, how?
My sister and I can be quite... we are all stubborn, but my sister and I can be a bit more argumentative.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's very logical, so he can like...
I think I'm just more laid back. You know?
And he lays on the pool, like he's like easygoing. I think he was an easy child. I think that helped.
There you go.
Mom's going to have to answer a lot of questions later.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Who is more competitive, the two of you, who is more competitive in non-swimming things?
She.
Yeah.
Really?
Give examples. How?
If my sister was here, I would say it's my sister, but between two of us, maybe me.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it happens mostly when we play games, you know, outside of swimming. It can be at Christmas, New Year's. We bust out the board games. We're playing like Monopoly, like Scrabble, whatever it is, Saboteur, and she gets
goes
really
all out
into it. Like, you know, we were like drinking, having fun, like talking, and she's just like plotting her next move, you know, and I'm just like, yo, it's not that deep.
Dude, it's okay. I work with Lavinia.
I mean, I try to give my all, you know what I mean? I show that I'm enthusiastic.
100%.
Yeah,
okay, one last question and then we're done. It's Chinese New Year. Do you break the diet and training or do you stay strict?
I broke it this year.
You broke it this year?
Good for you.
Generally, I do, yeah.
Okay, good
you
for
you. Relax.
You got to, right? Every once in a while.
No, that brought a lot of comfort to everyone. Just to hear you say that. Brought comfort to me. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much for coming in. It's been great fun. Thank you so much
for having us. Yeah.
1FM 91.3